Today, we're taking a deeper dive into the very first of our 18 physical standards, the carry standard. Now, if you've listened to our overview episode, you might remember that the carry standard requires carrying 25% of your body weight in one hand while continuously walking forwards for 5 meters and backwards for 5 meters over a 60-second period. You then switch hands and repeat the process. After 2 minutes of work, you rest for 1 minute before completing 2 more rounds. Now, at first glance, carrying may seem almost too simple to deserve its own standard. After all, carrying is something we do all the time. We carry shopping bags, we carry laundry baskets, we carry children, we carry suitcases, we carry gardening equipment, we carry boxes and tools and all sorts of things throughout our lives. So why would something so ordinary become one of our key physical standards? Because carrying might just be one of the most important full body movements a human being can perform. And today, I want to show you why. Let's start with something worth thinking about. Imagine you're walking through a supermarket car park. You got a few bags in one hand. The bags are heavier than you expected. The wind is blowing. The ground isn't perfectly level. You're walking across painted lines, maybe some curbs, drains, and other uneven surfaces. Without even thinking about it, your body is making thousands of tiny adjustments. Your hand is gripping the bags. Your shoulder is stabilizing. Your core is absolutely working. Your hips are adjusting. Your feet are continuously responding to the ground beneath you. This isn't an arm exercise. This is a whole body exercise. And that's one of the reasons carrying is so valuable. Unlike many gym exercises that isolate a single muscle group, carrying forces the entire body to work together. It's one of the purest expressions of functional strength. One of the most interesting things about the carry standard is that it challenges what most people think core strength actually is. When people hear the phrase strong core, they often picture sit-ups, crunches, or six-pack muscles. But in reality, the core's primary role isn't producing movement, it's resisting movement. Think about what happens when you're holding a heavy bag in one hand. The weight wants to pull you sideways. It wants to bend your spine. It wants to shift your posture. Your job is to simply prevent that from happening. That's real-world core strength. The ability to stay stable while the world tries to move you around. And if you think about life, that's exactly what we're constantly being asked to do. We're carrying children on one side. We're moving furniture around the home. We're walking through airports with luggage. We're carrying bags from the car into the house. We're holding onto a dog lead when the dog decides it wants to go chase something that's really exciting to them. Life rarely asks us to perform crunches, but it regularly asks us to stay stable while carrying a load. That's why the carry standard matters. Another reason carrying is so important is that it connects directly to independence. Let's fast forward a few decades. Imagine you're 75 years old. You've just returned home from the grocery store and you're looking at the shopping bags and thinking, can I get them inside? Can you carry a suitcase if you're out traveling? Can you move some furniture around the home when needed? Can you take the rubbish bins out? These may sound like simple tasks, but they're actually markers of physical capability. When people lose the ability to carry meaningful loads, life often starts becoming more dependent. Tasks require assistance. Activities become limited. Freedom begins to shrink. On the other hand, maintaining the ability to carry things allows you to continue participating fully in daily life. The carry standard isn't really about carrying weight. It's about carrying responsibility. It's about maintaining the physical capacity to look after yourself and engage with the world around you. Now, let's talk about grip strength, because grip strength might be one of the most underestimated qualities in the human body. When your grip starts to fatigue during a carry, most people assume the challenge is in the hand. But grip strength reflects much more than that. It involves the muscles of the hand, wrist, forearm, upper arm, and shoulder all working together. A strong grip allows you to hold on to things life asks you to hold on to. Shopping bags, suitcases, handrails, tools, sporting equipment, gardening equipment, even another person's hand. A surprisingly large amount of life depends on your ability to hold on to things. The carry standard develops that ability naturally, not by isolating the hands, but training them in context they were designed for. Holding and moving through space. Something else carrying teaches us is posture. Not forced posture, not the rigid military-style posture many people imagine. Adaptive posture. The kind of posture that remains strong while life happens around you. If you've ever watched someone carry a heavy bag, you can often see the body's compensations immediately. The shoulder elevates, the torso leans, the head shifts, the hips move. Over time, these compensations can become habits. But carrying in a controlled manner teaches the body to organize itself more efficiently. The spine stays tall, the ribs stay connected, the pelvis remains stable. Everything begins working together. It's strength and posture training combined into a single movement. One of my favorite things about the carry standard is that it also challenges balance. People don't usually think of carrying as a balance exercise, but it absolutely is. The moment you place a weight in one hand, your center of gravity changes. Now, your body has to continually adjust while moving forward and backward. Walking forwards requires coordination. Walking backwards adds another layer entirely. Your body must become more aware of where it is in space. It must react, adjust, stabilize, and remain in control. These are incredibly valuable skills, especially as we age, because balance isn't simply about standing still. Balance is about maintaining control while movement is happening. And that's exactly what carrying trains. There's also something deeply human about carrying. If you look throughout history, carrying has always been a part of life. Humans carried water, they carried food, carried tools, carried children, carried supplies. For thousands of years, carrying wasn't exercise, it was simply living. In many ways, modern life has removed much of that physical demand. Everything has wheels. Everything gets delivered. Everything is designed to be easier. Now, easier isn't necessarily bad, but when we remove physical challenges completely, the body no longer receives the stimulus it needs to maintain capability. The carry standard gives us a way to reintroduce that stimulus deliberately. It reminds the body of something it was designed to do. Perhaps most importantly, carrying builds confidence, and confidence is one of the most overlooked outcomes of physical training. Imagine carrying something reasonably heavy and feeling completely in control. Not worried about your balance, not concerned about your grip, not wondering whether your back can handle it. You're just capable. That feeling carries over into everyday life. You stop hesitating, you stop avoiding tasks, you stop second guessing what your body can do. And that confidence influences far more than physical performance. It influences participation. It influences independence. It influences quality of life. Because the more confidence you have in your body, the more likely you are to use it. And the more you use it, the more capable it tends to become. What's fascinating is that the carry standard doesn't require extraordinary strength. Most people hear percentages and structured protocols and immediately think it's some kind of elite challenge. This is not. The goal isn't to become a professional strongman. The goal isn't to carry enormous weights. The goal is to simply maintain the level of strength, stability, balance, coordination, and endurance that everyday life repeatedly asks. Remember, these standards aren't designed around athletic performance. They are designed around human capability. They are designed around the idea that your body should be able to participate in life comfortably and confidently. That's a very different goal, and it's a far more meaningful one for most people. So if you're listening to this today and thinking, I'm not sure I could do that standard, that's perfectly okay. Remember, these standards are not judgments. They're information. They're simply showing you where you are right now. Some people may already meet the carry standard easily. Others may be months away. Some may need to begin with much lighter loads, and that's completely fine. The body doesn't care where you start. It responds to what you consistently do with it. Every carry you perform is a signal, a message to your muscles, your joints, your nervous system, and your brain that this ability still matters. And the body is remarkably good at responding when those messages are repeated consistently. So, as we finish today, I'd like you to think about carrying a little differently. Don't think about it as an exercise. Think about it as a life skill. A skill that keeps you capable. A skill that supports independence. A skill that strengthens your grip, your core, your posture, your balance, and your confidence all at the same time. Because carrying isn't really about moving a weight from one place to another. It's about maintaining the physical ability to move through life without any hesitation. To pick things up, to transport them, to help others when needed, to look after yourself, to remain capable. And that's exactly why the carry standard sits at the very beginning of our physical standards. Not because it's the most important, but because it represents something fundamental. The ability to carry the demands of everyday life with strength, stability, and confidence. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It would mean the absolute world to me if you could hit that subscribe button and share this episode with one person that you know that would benefit from improving their carrying ability. Keep moving, keep learning, and remember, your body is with you for life. It's worth investing in. Until next time, that's enough said.